Put a finger down if when you were 5, your parents decided to have another baby, and that baby was a baby brother who could always beat you in sports, who when he was 16 became a professional photographer, and when he was 19 became TikTok famous, so now your followers are only here to see him, and you're pretty much irrelevant.
Huh? Yeah.
Put a finger down if you had the most beautiful, amazing beach wedding on a private island in Mexico, but 24 hours after, your mother-in-law held an intervention for your husband because she said it was unfair how much attention he was giving to you and that he should be giving it to her instead, and that he had to pick between you and her, and then she slapped you across the face, told you that you were a little bitch and she hates you, so he took off his wedding ring and dumped you literally the day after your wedding, and then when you flew home from Mexico, it was coronavirus and everyone had to quarantine except for his family, banned him from seeing you or coming to your guys' apartment where you lived at all, and then he ended up kicking you out of that apartment so he could have secret sleepovers with his sister in the same bed, which you thought was really weird. And then he told you he wanted a divorce, but that he was going to be moving to the circus in South Africa for 3 years, so that you had to be stuck married to him for the next 3 years of your life. So you got a new phone number, blocked him on everything, but then he started making a ton of fake Instagram accounts, trying to catfish you and harass you, and then ended up finding out where you went to the gym, showed up at your gym, and then brought you a pet fish and told everyone that you were psycho and a stalker. I think it's just me.
Put a finger down while my mom reacts edition. Put a finger down if you ever kissed a boy. Put a finger down if you ever kissed a girl. Put a finger down if you've ever done drugs. Put a finger down if you've ever hit a vape. Put a finger down if you ever drank alcohol on purpose or more than like a sip from like your parents' drink. Put a finger down if you skipped a class. Put a finger down if you failed a class. Put a finger down if you snuck out of the house. Put a finger down if you lied to your parents about where you were going. Put a finger down if you've ever snuck someone in your house. Put a finger down if you've lied to your mom. Put a finger down if you've ever stolen your mom's clothes and never given them back. Put a finger down if you've ever taken money from your mom. Put a finger down if your mom's your best friend.
Alright, fuckers. Put a finger down, Unhealthy Coping Mechanisms Edition. Put a finger down if you've ever joked about your crippling mental health. Put a finger down if you've ever eaten or drank your feelings away. Put a finger down if you've ever joked about therapy, but in reality, you need therapy. Put a finger down if you've ever made yourself busy to distract you from your problems. Put a finger down if you've ever run back or accepted a toxic person back into your life. Put a finger down if you've ever made a sad playlist on SoundCloud, Spotify, or even Apple Music. Put a finger down if you've ever cleaned your room, dyed your hair, or even did a skincare routine to make yourself a new person. Put a finger down if you've ever taken anybody else's problems into consideration instead of your own. Put a finger down if you've ever recorded yourself or done this to the camera or to a mirror while you were crying. And lastly, put a finger down if you genuinely need help.
Put a finger down, character edition. If you're left with 10 to 8 fingers, you're the main character. If you're left with 7 to 6 fingers, you're the best friend. If you're left with 5 to 3 fingers, you're there for comedic relief. And if you're left with 3 to 0 fingers, you're an extra. Put a finger down if you're not fully white. Put a finger down.
Put a finger down, Gen Z edition. Put a finger down if you ate Tide Pods for fun. Put a finger down if you have a fucked up sleep schedule. Put a finger down if you've been told your clothes are too revealing. Put a finger down if you're part of the LGBTQ+ community. Put a finger down if you've gone to a Black Lives Matter protest. Put a finger down if you reserved a ticket for Trump's Tulsa rally and then didn't go. Put a finger down if you know someone who's attended a school where there was a school shooting. Put a finger down if you've dealt with mental health issues like OCD, anxiety, depression, etc. Put a finger down if you are sick of the systemic racism in this country. Put a finger down if you are sick of the gender norms and societal expectations on what we are supposed to wear, who's allowed to wear makeup, jewelry, etc. Put a finger down if you are sick of boomers telling you to keep quiet and you want your voice to be heard. Put a finger down if you want to get the fuck out of this country. Put a finger down if you watched Backyardigans as a kid.
If you put 5 or more fingers down, you're definitely the killer. This one kind of piggybacks off of the character who dies first, so go look at that one too. Put a finger down if you drink milk straight up with nothing in it. Put a finger down if you drink coffee at night. Put a finger down if you don't like being hugged or physical contact in general. Put a finger down if you shower or take baths during thunderstorms. Put a finger down if you don't sleep with a fan on. And put another finger down if you sleep with socks on. Put a finger down if you've prank called people never to tell them it was you. Put a finger down if you don't cry very much. Put a finger down if you don't feel bad after killing a bug. And put a finger down if people have told you your lifestyle choices are strange.
Put a finger down, perfect edition. If all these apply to you, you are literally perfect. I bet no one can get it. Okay, so here we go. Put a finger down if you're a girl.
This is put a finger down for all my antisocial people. Put a finger down if you get text messages, but you don't like to answer them because you just don't like talking to people. Put a finger down if after like 20 minutes of chilling with somebody, you're already like, damn, like, can I go home? Put a finger down if you've ever got up and moved your seat because somebody came and sat next to you. Put a finger down if you've lost friendships because you just can't keep up with the friendship. Put a finger down if the reason why you don't have any new friends is because you don't like learning new personalities. Put a finger down if being around a lot of people makes you tense up. Put a finger down if you have people that want to chill with you, but you just don't want to chill with them. Put a finger down if your daily social hour consists of you going into work and talking to your coworkers. Put a finger down if as soon as somebody's having a conversation with you, you're already making up excuses on how to end the conversation. Last but not least, put a finger down if your friends call you wishy-washy. And lastly, put a finger down if you really don't give a fuck because you know that these motherfuckers is fake anyways.
Alright, this is Put a Finger Down, I'm Jealous of You edition. If you put more than 3 fingers down, I'm coming for your soul. Put a finger down if at some point in your life you had a pet. Any form of a pet. Put a finger down if you go on a vacation almost every year with your family. Put a finger down if you've been to LA. Put a finger down if you've ever won money through the lottery or anything like that. Put a finger down if you've ever had front row or VIP tickets to any concert. Put a finger down if your family allows you to play music with swear words in it out loud. Put a finger down if you never needed braces. And last but not least, put a finger down if it doesn't get cold where you live.
Put your finger down, dark skin edition. Put a finger down if you go to the store and you can never find your foundation shade. Put a finger down if you're bullied in school because of your skin color. Put a finger down if people said you would be prettier if you're light skin. Put a finger down if you can't use contour because there's nothing dark enough. Put a finger down if you've been struggling to find a guy that like dark skinned girls. Put a finger down if you've ever been compared to an animal. Put a finger down if you've ever been fantasized. Put a finger down if your own family calls you too dark. Put a finger down if you ever get attention when you wear bright colors. Last one, put a finger down. Despite all this, you love your skin color.
Put your finger down, kebiasaan tidur edition. Put your finger down kalau sebelum tidur kalian harus nyusun bantal atau guling kalian di tepi kasur. Put your finger down kalau kalian harus tidur pakai guling. Put your finger down kalau rambut kalian selalu dinaikin supaya leher kalian kena bantal. Put your finger down kalau kalian harus pakai selimut pas tidur walaupun panas. Dan put your finger down kalau kalian sebelum tidur kalian harus bikin drama dulu di hayalan kalian.
Put a finger down, black edition. Put a finger down if you had chicken in the last 3 days.
I'm vegan.
Put a finger down if you don't know your dad.
I love my dad.
Put a finger down if you can sing.
Mm-mm.
Put a finger down if you know a white person who thinks you're way cooler than you are. Like, oh my goodness, Jerome, you dress so colorful.
I don't know any
Put a
white
finger
people.
down if you can dance. If you
dance.
like rap music. If you play basketball. If someone ever said to you, what a beautiful name, how do I pronounce that? If you're thinking about chicken now because of the first question.
I hate chicken.
If you ever got your ass whooped by your parents?
No.
Put a finger down if you or someone you know wears a weave.
I'm all
Alright, 2 more.
natural.
Put a finger down if you think Kevin Hart is funnier than Jerry Seinfeld.
Who's Kevin
And
Hart?
put a finger down if you're thinking, who the hell is Gary
I
Steinfeld?
love Jerry Seinfeld.
Put a finger down, apocalypse edition. If you put even 1 finger down, you are not surviving the apocalypse. These are in descending order. If the first one applies to you, you are the first to go, and so on. Disclaimer, most of these are less about somebody's resourcefulness and more about somebody's aura. Number 1, straight men. Number 2, 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash users. Number 3, people who have ever liked an Ed Sheeran song. Yes, that includes A-Team. Yes, that includes thinking out loud. Number 4, people who have more than 3 plastic water bottles in their bedroom right now. Number 5, people who have ever left their laundry in the dryer for more than 12 hours. Number 6, people who regularly use the phrases touch base or circle back. Number 7, people who skip to the middle of the song when the intro is too long. Number 8, people who have eaten at Subway in the past 3 years. Number 9, dog people. And number 10, people who use portable chargers on their phones. Let me know how you did.
This is Put a Finger Down, Girly Girl edition. Put a finger down if you love wearing heels. Put a finger down if you have a countless amount of dresses or skirts. Put a finger down if when you were in elementary school you would always shop at Justice or Claire's. Put a finger down if you have your ears pierced. Put a finger down if you text in all lower cases. Put a finger down if you think doing your eyebrows is really important in your makeup routine. Put a finger down if you always have your toes done, either white or red. Put a finger down if you have a vanity in your room. Put a finger down if you shop at Forever 21 or H&M. Put a finger down if you get the refreshers at Starbucks. Put a finger down if you prefer sweet foods rather than salty foods. Lastly, put a finger down if all your shirts are crop tops.
Put a finger down, Mommy Issues edition. Put a finger down if you're obsessed with your body image or super insecure about your body. Put a finger down if you're overly sensitive. Put a finger down if you act mature for your age. Put a finger down if you're secretly very clingy. Put a finger down if you always want validation. Put a finger down if you're a super giving person to the point where you go out of your way to give to people and sometimes it even hurts you. Put a finger down if you struggle to maintain emotional connections. Put a finger down if you have trust issues. Put a finger down if you're very independent. Put a finger down if you constantly try to be the best at everything. Put a finger down if you have a hard time being vulnerable. Put a finger down if you get jealous easily. Put a finger down if you hate feeling weak. Put a finger down if you have at least one mental illness. Put a finger down if you've ever had an eating disorder. Put a finger down if people have described you as tomboy or masculine.
Put a finger down, Child of Trauma edition. Don't even watch the video. Just click on the audio and do it. Okay. Put a finger down if you ran away when you were 7 years old and you didn't know where you were going, so you ran into some of your classmates and you talked to their mom and told them the reason you ran away is because you were scared of being beat and having to do hard physical labor. So she called the police. You were sent home and you were locked in your room by your abuser. And the police officer woke you up by shining a flashlight on you and you told him about the relentless physical abuse you were going through. And he went to your abuser and made up things that you never told him and said that you said those things to him and told your abuser and then mocked you and your experiences with your abuser and then left, and in return your abuser beat you even more, and that police officer could have saved you from years of abuse but instead he mocked you and you hope that police officer is rotting in hell. Put a finger down if you're traumatized.
Put a finger down, stay the heck away from me edition, part 5. I was making the last couple a little bit too easy, so now it's gonna get hard to win this. Put a finger down if you wet your toothbrush before brushing your teeth. Yeah. Put a finger down if you don't sleep with socks on. Put a finger down if you can wake up in time for something without setting an alarm. Put a finger down if you're old enough to have a driver's license, but you still don't have it. Put a finger down if you actually enjoy eating dark chocolate. Put a finger down if you don't like oatmeal raisin cookies. Put a finger down if you don't like powdered strawberry-filled donuts. Those are my favorite donuts by far. Put a finger down if you like your steak anything except for well done. Well done's the only way to go. Put a finger down if Halloween is your favorite holiday of the year. And lastly, put a finger down if you actually enjoy quarantine. You're crazy.
Put a finger down if one time you went on a date with this Muslim guy from Lebanon, and as soon as you get there, you go to give him a hug, and then he's like, oh no, I actually can't touch you. Before I can touch you, there's a certain ceremony that we have to go through my religion as a token of respect, a sign of respect. So you're like, okay, seems weird, but okay. So then he says a bunch of stuff in Lebanese, and then he makes you repeat after him a phrase in Lebanese, and then he's like, okay, now I have to give you something as a token of my respect. So like, what do you want? So you're like, okay, like a quarter, like you're just like, okay. So then he takes out a pen, he signs it, and he gives it to you, and then after that, he's like, okay, last for 6 months, now we can touch. You don't have to keep hanging out with me, but like we're good. So you're like, okay. So then you get home, and you just feel really weird about it, so you end up reaching out to your other Muslim friend, and you're just like, hey, what just happened to me? What did I just get myself into? And he immediately starts cracking up, dying of laughter, and you're like, okay. So then he finally tells you that basically you're married in the eyes of his God for 6 months to this boy that you just met, and it's his basically loophole so that he can sleep with you and not have it be a sin in the eyes of his God. And then it gets weirder than that.
Put your finger down, fruit edition. Yes. Mango. Yes. Papaya. Durian. Orange. Strawberry. Durian. Banana. Apple. Nanas. Yay!
Alright, this is Put a Finger Down, Stay the Heck Away From Me edition, part 2. If you put more than 5 fingers down, then we're probably not gonna get along. Put a finger down if you think fruit is considered a dessert. If you like pumpkin spice flavored anything, put a finger down. Put a finger down if you believe that pineapple belongs on pizza. Put a finger down if you don't like being in pictures. Put a finger down if you believe fall is the best season. Put a finger down if you like KFC. Put a finger down if you love horror movies. If you like country music, put a finger down. Put a finger down if you don't like the show Friends. Put a finger down if you don't like traveling. If you don't vibe to Post Malone's music, put a finger down. If you think Twitter is the best social media platform, put a finger down. And if you don't like ice cream cake, not only are you not coming to my party, but you can also put a finger down.
Put your finger down, Cringe edition. Put your finger down if you fell for a girl who was really into K-pop, so you started listening to BTS and fell down a rabbit hole, and eventually you started to become someone you weren't, so you ended up learning one of their choreographies to try to impress them and used it to ask her out to prom.
Okay, this is a real put your finger down. This ain't kid stuff, okay? I want you to put a finger down if you had sex with someone this week. In your head. I want you to put a finger down if you killed someone.
This is Put a Finger Down, Girly Girl edition. Put a finger down if you love wearing heels. Put a finger down if you have a countless amount of dresses or skirts. Put a finger down if when you were in elementary school you would always shop at Justice or Claire's. Put a finger down if you have your ears pierced. Put a finger down if you text in all lower cases. Put a finger down if you think doing your eyebrows is really important in your makeup routine. Put a finger down if you always have your toes done, either white or red. Put a finger down if you have a vanity in your room. Put a finger down if you shop at Forever 21 or H&M. Put a finger down if you get the refreshers at Starbucks. Put a finger down if you prefer sweet foods rather than salty foods. Lastly, put a finger down if all your shirts are crop tops.
Put a finger down, actual hoe edition.
Put a finger down if you've ever been in a relationship.
Put a finger down if you've ever had a hickey.
Put a finger down if you went back to him after he fucked you over.
Put a finger down if you've ever hooked up with an ex.
Put a finger down.
Okay, ladies, put a finger down, women edition. Put a finger down if you're a woman. Put a finger down if you think that your sole purpose in life is to find a gorgeous man, cook and clean for him, and then pop out his babies. Yes. What else would it be? Put a finger down if you don't think that you should be allowed to vote. I just feel like if I was allowed to vote, I would stumble in there, make a fool of myself, and just be silly. So I would just rather not at all. And I don't think any woman should. Put a finger down if you get dressed every day. Put on your makeup, put on your skirts and your heels, so that you walk down the street and men can stare at you. Yes, that is the only reason I get dressed. It's crazy. I love it. I'm like obsessed with it. Okay. Put a finger down if you love pocketbooks.
Okay, put a finger down that weird phase we all went through in middle school edition. Put a finger down if you stand 21 Pilots, Halsey, Melanie Martinez, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, 5 Sauce, or 1D. Bonus points if your room was covered head to toe in posters from one of those. Put a finger down if you stand Super Hulock, Percy Jackson, or Harry Potter. Put a finger down if you ran or followed fan accounts. Put a finger down if you read or wrote fan fictions. Put a finger down if you read or wrote smut. Put a finger down for gay ships. Put a finger down for Dan and Phil. Put a finger down if you did their whiskers, and bonus points if you went out like that. Put a finger down if you knew the words to Dan's diss track. Put a finger down if you wore chokers, flannels, Converse, and black skinny jeans, or if you really wanted to dress like that. Put a finger down if you wore flower crowns. Put a finger down if you read the milk fic, cherry fic, skin fic, etc. Put a finger down if you watched BuzzFeed, Steven Universe, if you said XD. Put a finger down if you had a red hair phase, turquoise hair phase, blue hair phase, or purple hair phase. If you stand The Fault in Our Stars. And finally, if you called a celebrity a small bean, be honest.